I'm very excited today. As you know, Joe normally does all the talking and rambles on about all these things, and the trouble is he knows what he's talking about and I don't, but never mind. We're here in the Great Central Railway, one of the great lost railways of this country. We're on a heritage section of it. The railway was built southwards from Manchester to London, not the other way round, and then withered in the 1960s. It's sad, but this makes my day. Steam trains, Great Central Railway, what's not to like about that?
So, now you have to listen to Steve rambling on about how much he loves steam trains. And by the way, there's a 50 and a 20 over there for anyone who's interested. Now you have to listen to Steve rambling on about how much he loves steam trains. I'll tell you what we're doing. So we've come to the Great Central Railway's autumn steam gala. We parked at Corn and we came up to Loughborough Central, and we're now on the 12 o'clock departure. We're going to go all the way down to Leicester North. Takes about half an hour or so. It's about 7.5 miles on this stunning preserved line, the only double track preserved railway in Britain. And then we're going to slowly come back and have a look at each of the stations and just have a look round. And at the moment we're behind the famous 8F number 48305, which of course was famous for having "Please Don't Let Me Die" written on it in the scrapyards. How about that, Steve?
What's not to like about this then? This is fantastic. I wish it was smelly vision, because you can smell the sort of steam and the smoke and everything all coming through. No doubt when we look up there we'll get smokes on our faces. And how did I survive the 1950s? You mean we're on the way or it's on the way?
Both.
What's on the way?
Both are on the way. Some food and
the train.
Just departed Corn.
Yes.
With a very nice wheel slip.
Yes. And then to add to our enjoyment of the day so far, Joe was very kindly gone and got a bacon batch for me and a sausage batch for you, haven't you?
Which is excellent, because this was the big letdown of the Scarborough Star Express.
It was. In fact, it ruined the day.
The Swiftland Reservoir, Steve. How about that?
I've seen it on maps. When you look on the old Ordnance Survey around here, you see that it's quite a place actually, and
it's on both sides.
yes. It's when it comes into the carriage you've got to be a bit concerned, yeah. So where have we got to now then, Joe?
So we've arrived at Leicester North, which is not actually an original Great Central station. It was just built to provide this bit of the Great Central with a sort of end point. There was a station at Birstall, which was heavily vandalised. So that never survived, unfortunately.
Oh, that's a shame, isn't it?
Should we go and watch them run round?
We'll do, we will. Now, where's Joe got to? Oh, here he is.
Hello.
Joe, what are you doing standing in front of a brick wall?
Well, it's funny you should ask me that, Steve. I just really enjoy standing by brick walls.
Although it's not any old brick wall, let's be honest about that, is it? Yeah.
And behind me, when we came in on the train, I wasn't exactly sure where it was, but this is the original entrance to the old Birstall station, which was an original Great Central station. It would have looked very much like Roteley, which we're going to see in a moment. Unfortunately, it became very, very heavily vandalised. So when the Great Central main line closed and then this stretch entered preservation, the station here unfortunately didn't. And over the bridge you've got Leicester North station, which you can see there, not a particularly beautiful station, I think you'll agree, Steve, but nonetheless provides a terminus, and as you can see, somewhere to run round on this press line. But yes, this is Bristol station. I imagine the platform would have been very much
right
down there.
But you can see where the line went straight into Leicester, can't you?
Yes.
Almost.
Yes,
Yeah.
and trains to Marylebone
Yeah.
would have continued off
Yeah.
in that direction. So Steve,
Being a Coventry kid, and indeed I used to. I owned a couple of Triumphs in their day. We're standing next to a Triumph Stag.
which is a very nice car, and is the car driven by Dennis Waterman in New Tricks.
And in typical keeping with all Triumph cars, it's got rust in it. Which is one of the problems with British cars, but it was a lovely car.
There you are, a classic car with, I think, a slightly sad sight of the old Birstall station there. And that is really, that wall, by the looks of it, is about the only sign that there was a station once here.
There's the centre of Leicester. It isn't actually a very good view. It's a
Yes, it was a good view at that end, but yes, so that you can clearly see there, this road is where the line. So Steve, how happy are you that we're here at Rothley?
And then of course, having gone on a slight sort of detour, then they can
Steve spotted something, haven't you?
Yeah. I haven't seen one of these in years, but on every railway station you used to go and get a penny, packet of Nestle chocolate.
There you are.
No, that looks really good just before she's setting off.
Well, that was a token exchange. Yes, yeah.
Another one's a bit.
As if by magic, yeah. Well.
So we're sitting outside at Rothley, which is, I think, a lovely station.
Beautiful.
As I've said to you,
yeah.
all stations should be like this. There's a steam engine just pulling on its way back to Leicester North, on its way back to, I beg your pardon, its way back to Loughborough Central.
But it doesn't matter which way.
It doesn't really matter, it's nowhere to
yeah.
nowhere.
Yeah.
And we are, of course, now waiting to head to Loughborough, aren't we?
We are. Well,
But we're
somewhere
not going
anyway.
on this one.
No, but not on this one. Here it comes. What's really nice is we can now have a conversation with the steam train hissing in the background.
How wonderful is that? Yes. And that is, of course, a BR Standard 9F. And that one is actually, I believe, from the North York Moors Railway.
Well, how about that?
And
then?
how about that?
Yeah.
That's the Guest Loco.
Oh, right. Fabulous stuff.
Steve, we've now turned up at Quorn. Now we've been here before, haven't we? Because this is where we've parked.
Yeah.
No, not in here, because the ladies' waiting room. But look at that.
Joe, what are you doing filming a ladies' waiting room?
Ah, well, you know what we get up into our spare time, Steve. Steve, this sign here said, London North Eastern Railway, beware the trains look both up and down
Yeah.
the line before you cross. You told me something very interesting about the Great Central Railway and up and down things.
I did, although...
You can't remember what it is, can you?
I can. They can't remember whether it's actually true or not, but it must have come from somewhere. You go...
Up to London.
Up to London and down to the north, which anybody would tell you is nonsense, because the north is north, the south is south, up and down, to go the wrong way round. But because the Great Central Railway was built from Manchester southwards, they used to do it the other way round. In my view, the correct way round
Yes.
is to go down to London and up to Manchester.
Yes, and we may completely have made that up, because it may not be true.
But
We'll leave you to
it's
decide
come
for
from
yourselves.
somewhere.
Exactly,
That's
it has
right.
come from somewhere.
Shall
Steve, you need to dig for victory.
Yeah, I know.
Steve, don't forget it's blackout time at 7.
I know.
So we are back at Loughborough, and we've come back. We've now visited all the stations. Steve, I think you've enjoyed the stations we've visited, haven't you?
They've been really nice, and they're different themes. We think that Leicester North was sort of 1960s.
Yep.
Rokeley was
30s.
30s. Quorn was
Definitely
wartime.
40s, yes. And this is
And
British
Loughborough
Railway
is-
50s, isn't it?
yes.
I would have thought.
Yeah.
But we're now on the delayed 1600 departure, and we're going to go all the way to Loughborough and back to Loughborough, to Leicester, and back to Quorn. And 9Fs, 92134 and 92214 are on the front, and they're going to work down as a pair. And I promise Steve this is going to be exciting, so I apologise if it's shit.
Well, you've done enough apologising to me in your life, so a bit more won't hurt, will it?
There we are.